Hello everyone, this is Shiny and Octals, and tonight it's figured it'd be nice to stream some 2004 Scape for you guys. Figured it'd be nice to do. Let me see if I can get everything set up here. Gotta edit something here real quick. Well, let me. There. If I can get some air runes. Oh, I got a ton of chaos runes, which is nice. There. There. Where's Hendrix? Heinrich. Uh, Wait, was it Morgan or was it someone else? I have to remember. I thought it was Morgan. Oh, went. see. There. Oh, see. What? Uh, I usually. See here. So here. Oh, come on, don't be, oh, let's see. Let's see. Come on now. You really have an attitude problem. I was here first. Yeah, that is just whatever. I don't sweat over. Bjorn. Watch. Yeah, this guy. This is the second time I've had a guy like this, and it's just. I I honestly don't know why I meet these people. Uh, Thankfully it's not. You know, it hasn't happened in the last few weeks, but still, it's just one of those things, you know. Dude, come on now. You know what? I actually, yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah. The reason I'm staying here is I want to make a point to this guy. Is that the guy that won't share you're always in World 2, right? Yeah, usually. Yeah, this guy is just so... I was here first, and this guy, he has this poor attitude. He just... Yeah. He's just one of those people, eh? Let me see how much health this is. I'm gonna I'm gonna Were you banking or did he just come? He just came. Like I was at the Blue Dragon spot and I always leave a spot available in case if anyone else wants to come. And he came by and he maged one of the Blue Dragons and then he wanted to get my spot and yeah. Yeah, it's just and he claims that he's been here for hours, but the thing is that my way of looking at it is like if no one's here when by the time you get here, then another person comes, then I feel like that the person who is there at the moment should at least have at least one spot, and uh, it's just this guy just doesn't he can't seem to be satisfied with one spot, and it's a shame, but yeah, really. You bank, I would say it isn't your spot anymore. Exactly. Yeah. Hold on, let's see if I might put auto. Do I have auto retaliate? I want to prove a point to this guy because yeah, he thinks he can have his way, and that's not how it works. Yeah, one backup. If you'd like to come, I'd appreciate it. I don't know. I don't even know if he's picking up the drops at this point. I think he's just I don't know. So yeah, yeah, that is so horrible. It's just some people think they're special, like special treatment, or everyone is. So, yeah, that is that is so. Dude, I really, yeah, that's just, dude. Yeah, now he's trying to drag the dragon because I'm low on HP and he wants me to get aggroed. Dude, that is so dumb. How petty can this guy be? And you feel like I feel like he should have gone to the bank by now. Yeah, yeah, he just I think he's just doing it to get on my nerves, to be honest. Yeah, yeah, get wrecked. I guess you guys get to watch him get hit for damage now. I think he's trying to drag the dragon over to my way because he wants the dragon to hit me at this point. He should be full by now. Unless if he's burying all the dragon bones or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, backup's coming. Thanks. Yeah, he can left click him, so it's harder to be faster. Oh yeah, yeah, because I'm trying to right click it. Can you I guess can you left click? I guess you can. My bad. Maybe I should do that. Maybe that's why I'm messing up here. Actually, that might help. If I can just left click it, then it shouldn't be too bad. Or do I have to be like a higher level or something? Depends on combat level. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, I didn't know that. That's why. Well, I'll at least take the coins. This guy is so petty. Yeah, no, okay, that makes sense. I didn't know that actually. Well, that's good to know, for the future. Just take the coins. Thanks for the coins. Yeah, okay. Yeah, by the time he comes back, he's not gonna be able to come back in time for the dragons respawn and everything. Yeah. Oh, by the way, actually, since I got company, you guys coming in, you guys can actually probably help me out here. You can kill the half-dead dragon so you can get the drops. Okay. Well, if I can do it in time, I'll try to see if I can. Yeah, that is. There was only one other person that was as petty as him, but I think he's probably the pettiest out of all of them. Because I don't know. Like the other guy I had, he was only there for like a few minutes and then he left at least. So even with the watchtower teleport, it's still like 2-3 minute bank. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you guys are coming, then it probably will help. Because I this guy needs to learn that, if you oh, there we go. If you wanna if you want a dragon spot with two spots, then just hop. That's it. I'm not gonna do it for you because that's the reason why I keep one of the spots available, in case if someone needs it. I'm fine waiting 10 seconds for a dragon to respawn, and if these clowns can't, then that's their problem. That's their problem. Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't like acting like this, but wait, so did he crash you and then told you? Yeah, pretty much. That's what he did. Okay, I think we're gonna elk that. Okay, there we go. Right. Yeah, he's just, I don't know. Let's see. Ugh. It's not that I want to act like that, that way to that guy. It's just, ugh. I think that's the most petty person I've ever met in this game so far. Let's see. Oh, Mystic Mime. Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, let them grieve. They'll get muted. Yeah. Yeah, let me get the blue d'hide ready for Morgan or Mog, because I know he came here. Here you go, Mog. Oh, that's actually nice. Yeah. Yeah, let's we're gonna eat some trout. I'm glad I actually cooked this because now I can eat it. Yeah. All right, so Bjorn, I guess you're coming with me as well as yeah, appreciate it. Let me get this. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just I don't know how people can be that petty. I mean, I just it's like but whatever, let's go. I just want to prove a point because, I think if I let it slide, then, more and more people are going to do it. And that's just not how it works with me. I really love this community, I do. And most of the people in this game are really good. Like over probably like 98, 99% of the people in this game are really nice, but just like there's just like those handful of people that I don't know why um I don't know what it is. But okay, let's see. Oh, hold on, hold on. Let's go. Oh, sorry. Let's go. Ugh. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, let's focus, I guess, on the dragon here then. There. Adamant darts. Uh, oh, do you want me to use them? Like, or is it like a quicker way to get the dragon going, or? I'm not fair. Well, I didn't. Well, the thing is that by the time I was here, no one was here. It was just me. Let's see. Yeah, let me trade these darts back to you, Bjorn, just because I'm not really training range that much right now. What do you think? He's not even benefiting at this point, to be honest, because he's having to wait for the one of the dragons to respawn anyways. So I honestly don't know what the point is here. Honestly, unless you got a friend to hold a spot for you. I don't think you can claim a spot. Right, to ball, right? Yeah, I think he honestly doesn't care at this point. I think he's just yeah. Is it really just going to be Bjorn and I resorting to, to get the dragon first before he does? Yeah, yeah. You know what, Bjorn, what we could do, I don't know if maybe if we go to the other spot, if you come with me, maybe we might be able to focus down on the blue dragon together. Oh, you know what? Actually, Bjorn, um, you you can actually get one of the blue dragons when he's trying to get the other one, and yeah, then he'll have to yeah. Let's go. Do this. Yeah, he really is petty, isn't he? All right. Yeah. Oh, he didn't. He's still there. Get wrecked. You know, honestly, he deserves this. He deserves this. He has an attitude problem, and that's we're not gonna allow it. If you want, Bjorn, you and I can split the loot if you want. I'll try to see if I can also tag in so we can kind of do it together. So you don't have to use all the darts on your own. Oh, did he log out? I think he did. I think he actually logged out. He logged out. Let's go. Yeah, honestly, he deserved that. You know, I usually am not like that. Like, I usually don't like to do that to people, but with how petty he was, he deserved it. I'm sorry. I just And see, I'm fine with one dragon spot. I mean, that's the reason why I keep the other one open because if anyone else comes in, because I know there's a fair amount of people who come here. You know, if anyone else wants to come in and do fight like a blue dragon, whether it's you, Bjorn, or anyone else, that's why I keep that spot open. You know, that's the whole reason. Feel like that should have been done. Yeah, for sure. I'll give this to you, Bjorn, since you been helping me out. Give you a gem. Just as a gift. Now we can enjoy the stream in peace again, hopefully. I don't think there's gonna be another guy like him for a while. The only other guy that was like him was a guy named, I think, XX El Diablo or something. Um, but he wasn't as bad. He was only like here for like a minute or two, and that was it. At least the guy doesn't know my stream. Or hopefully I don't think he does. What would be bad is like as soon as Bjorn leaves, he comes back. But no, I think at this point, I think we're good. Again, if you're gonna complain about, I want my two blue dragons, and then the whole time you're doing that, you only made one blue dragon anyways, then what's the point? It's like you get the same result either way. I got crashed at Moss's when the server was fresh. Oh wow. What was it like when you were at Moss's, Bjorn? Was it like that you were like just fighting a few of them, and then another guy came and he wanted all of them? Uh, because like, because again, like if I did Moss Giants and there were like three or four of them, I'd be fine even if I just had two. But if the guy wanted all four of them or something, then that's a problem. Yeah, the dude was unhinged. The dude came and started attacking them. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't prefer that kind of drama. Like if I can find another way. But, and when I asked if I could have my spot back, he proceeded to say, "Log off, little bro." That's the same guy. That's the same thing this guy said. This guy said, "Little man," and I don't know how tall this guy is, but I mean, I don't even think height should be like the sole factor or a main factor. I mean, whether I was like 5 foot or 6 foot or whatever. I'm around 6 foot by the way, but I just think people just have an attitude problem. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm actually gonna, uh, you know, Ball. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna kick you out of here because you were so disrespectful in the game, and I usually don't do that, but I think I'm going to remove you from the chat. Or actually, you know what? Before I remove you from the chat, I'm going to do a poll. Just because I want it to be democratic. Should I remove all the chat? Yeah. Let's see here. Just want to see what people vote. All right, you got 2 votes. Heck yes, so far. And I guess if I was able to vote as well, it would count as 3. Um. So yeah, Bo, I think the chat has spoken. I think that we taught you a lesson that you needed to learn, and that's just how it is. And if you do that again, then probably the same thing will happen to you. So I, I really didn't want to do that to you, but it was your problem, and that's something you had to learn. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna remove you from the chat. Bye. Yeah. Let's see how do I? Yeah, by the way, guys, this is the first I haven't removed someone from the chat in a while now, so let's see. Let's see. let me yeah. Okay, let's see. I don't see an option to block, unfortunately, but I think hide him, and I did put him on timeout. I'm trying to see if there's another, like, if there's like an option where I can remove him from the server or from the live chat, because I really, um, yeah, yeah. Hey, let's see. You can block a user during a live stream by tapping the message and selecting block, but this only hides their comments from you during that specific live chat. Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, def can't claim a spot regardless of how many hours. Yeah. Let's see here. Again, guys, I really don't like doing this. That's why I even did the vote for you guys, just so, I could make, crystal clear about this guy. Um, but yeah, let me see. I can always ask the guy. Yeah. Yeah, I just need to get a link to his YouTube page or whatever, and then I can remove him. Hey RPG, glad you came in. I want to let you know Bjorn was the MVP this stream. He really helped me out with this one guy that turned out to be quite the problem. Uh his name was B-Ball, and yeah. Yeah, I think he was the one who voted no. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, let me see. Oh, also welcome OSRS Quick Guides. I'll actually put this in the thumbnail. Let me see. Bjorn MVP. Uh, up there. Yeah, let me see if I can. Okay, go to channel. So, because I usually don't block people, but I think I don't know if there's like a button I press. clicking the three dots. Just caught up on chat, been busy day, yeah. Yeah, I deleted the guy's messages, by the way. If you want me to let you know what he said specifically, I can. But yeah, he was just saying, because he was saying that, you know, that he was been there for a few out for however many hours, and I told him, well, when I got there, when I first got to the Blue Dragons, no one was there, so. But yeah, let me see how I can do this. Block user. The 200 comments or their channel page. Find three. Okay. Well, anyways, I hope that worked. Let's see. Oh, profile pic. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. You guys can tell I haven't really blocked people before because I really don't do this that often. Let's see. Click. Let's see. Half the time I don't even type, I just world hop. Other times I stay stubborn and stay there till I go sleep. While I cut magics for 12 hours a day, I'm consistently getting people to turn up, cut all my trees, and leave or just stay there griefing me for hours, waiting 5 minutes just for trees to grow back. Oops, killing me. Yeah, it's let's see. Wait a minute. Let's see. Magix is a two-person spot though. Two unicorns even now. I never chop Magix with two players. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a way you can go about things that that makes sense. But just someone like him, I don't know. Oh, maybe it did work. majority of players cutting there aren't even using unicorn method, just go to the 4 trees south. Yeah, let me see. Privacy. The RPG, what do you personally think? I mean, the thing is, there's a reason why I always keep one spot available for the Blue Dragons is because, in case if anyone wants to come in, because I know, there's a fair amount of people that also mage up Blue Dragons or range, that's why I keep a spot available. And there was no one there, you know, when I got there, and then when I was maging the Blue Dragon, I had that spot available for him or whoever else, and he came in and he maged the first one, and then he wanted the second one. And at that point, I would just say, well, you can just hop to another world. But he just couldn't help himself, I guess. Um, yeah, it's a shame, but it is what it is. Let me see if I don't know. Gonna check something here real quick. I'm new to stream, but not Lost City. This southeast spot is for both people killing both. Yeah, I think if people really want to earn XP, make money, they'll hop for Empty World. Only takes 40. Yeah, exactly. And it only takes 10 seconds. Only takes 10 seconds for the blue dragons to respawn. So I really don't know what's the point about being so pressed about it, But yeah, I think let's see here. Trying to see. Community. Are you gonna be streaming it? Oh, okay. Otherwise it's just being stubborn like myself. It just. Oh yeah, he's back. Yep. Yep. Uh, I really don't want to do this, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Let me. Oops. Sorry guys. I don't know what's going on with the quality, but. Well, let me log out just to refresh this real quick. Okay. That's really weird. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but okay. Okay, let me see. Viewers post. Yeah, do you guys know how to access block lists on YouTube? I'm trying to find it. Yeah, bro, when Flux 6 goal days have lost my. I'm sorry if I'm not but if I'm still struggling finding this, let's see. Let's see. Am I clicking people? Let me see. People and share. Trying to figure this out. I believe you go into YouTube settings, community tab for blocked people. Okay. Thanks, viewer. I mean, thanks, RPG. Um, yeah, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, because I was checking community and see, it shows comments, but I don't think it shows live comments. I think. Let me see if I can. Something. I don't know if he comes to the chat again. Yeah, yeah. If he comes to the chat again, we'll just handle it there. I think, but 'cause I don't think there's much else I can do at this point. Yeah, I think maybe just yeah, whatever. Yeah, I guess it's not nothing to fixate on, forever. I'm just glad that we took care of it, guys. That's the most important thing. And then, um, yeah. But again, I want to thank Bjorn for being there. I also want to appreciate you as well, Wes, for hanging in there with us as well when all that was happening. And yeah, and then also RPG and quick guides. I'm also glad that you guys hopped in. Because it's nice to have other content creators too, or other players of 2000, of the community we're in, just kind of give their opinion on things. Because as you can see, for me, I just it's just one of those things where um, I try my best to take it in stride, but sometimes it's just it can be a bit much. So I don't know what happened. I only joined a few minutes ago. Yeah, so, what happened was, um, there was so basically the guy, B-Ball, he kind of hopped, well, he said he was maging Blue Dragons for hours, but the thing was, is by the time when I got there, no one was there, and so so I was maging the Blue Dragons and doing my thing, and oops, my bad. He, um, you know, he wanted both of the blue dragons, and I said, you know, well, I mean, that's why I keep one of the blue spots available, so in case if someone needs it, you know, they can have it. And then he started maging my dragon and his dragon to below half HP, and just, you're good, bro. Even with small servers, popular spots are contested. Yeah, it's like he couldn't be he couldn't be convinced to just hop to another world, you know. Because if he wanted two blue dragons that badly, he could have done that. And honestly, the with him trying to mage the two blue dragons back and forth, anyways, he was only really maging one at a time, anyways. So it's like I don't know. I just think it's one of those things where um I just always there's always a better way. I feel like. I if it's easier next time, try hop and find empty world. I know it's a pain, but save the stress. Sometimes I come back from bank and people at my spot with a one unicorn that choose. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I might just do that maybe. Just, oops, my bad. Yeah, I don't know why that's happened again. I don't know if you guys can see that screen tearing, but let's see. I'm surprised to hear that RPG if I ever come back. Yeah, usually, yeah, same thing. Quick guides. Usually, not at least 9 times out of 10, most people will do that. It's just like just that small percentage of people they can't be helped. Or you can try to help them, but sometimes they might reject your help regardless. Well, let me give an eye patch to Paladin. Let me see if I can get this done. Hopefully he doesn't teleport away. Yeah, I figured that looks like on him. 90% of people are familiar with that cut regular and I just hop. Yeah, most people here are pretty good. It's just I'm just glad Bjorn came in and just kind of helped me out with that, just because he didn't have to, but he was just willing to be a helpful team player in that regard. Oh, let me minimize my stream window because I don't know if it's freezing for you guys every time I go back and forth into the chat. Almost forgot about that. Yeah, if he's there again, I might just end up hopping. And then if he tries to hop to my world, to the worlds I hop to, then I'll stand my ground. But let's hope he doesn't do that. Let's hope he's not still watching this stream. Uh, he probably might still be just to yeah yeah, but whatever. We'll figure it out. Whatever happens, happens. Okay. No, I think he's gone. I don't see him. I think he's gone. I rewatched the video to see if he was at the bank. Always gonna be bad eggs wherever we go, whether Aero. But I didn't see anyone at the bank. Yeah, I just it's whatever at this point. I'm kind of done with him at this point. I just want to relax and with you and have fun with you guys at Blue Dragons. I kind of oh yeah, he's over there. Yeah, well if let's see if yeah, no, he's not gonna play nice. He's gonna yeah, and he's gonna do the same thing over and over again. So I'm just gonna hop this time. I'm not gonna even bother with him. And then if he tries to hop to my world, then I'll stand my ground. But and if you guys wanna come as well at that point, then you guys can. But I kind of don't want it to get to that point, to be honest. But yeah. Let's see here. Follows you, then it's harassment. You can make some kind of yeah. Well, if he's still watching the stream, then he will know what worlds I hop to. So it's a thing as well. Well, let's hope he doesn't do that. Let's hope he has some shred of decency left that he'll yeah. Say. No, I think yeah. Unless if he's hopping right now, I don't think he is, but we'll see. Right, there we go. No, I don't think he's coming. I think he's learned his lesson, I think he's kind of which is a good thing. Um yeah. And again, that's why I always keep that other Blue Dragon spot open, just because again, if anyone, comes and they need it, that's why I keep it open. Whether it was Bjorn or RPG or whoever, And it only takes like 10 seconds for the dragons to respawn, so it's not like it's a big wait. It also gives me time to look at chat and stuff like that. Well, other than that, oh, sorry about that. Hope you guys have been enjoying the stream so far. I know it's been a bit of a ride, but it's been worth it. ultimately, I think... Oh, there's a Chaos Talisman. I think that's a rare drop table item, so that's pretty cool. I got that. I'll have to check the odds of what were the chances you can get that, but if anyone needs one, feel free to let me know. Let's see. I chewed out on stream about it. Maybe they heard me, maybe they didn't, but haven't had problems with unicorns over the past couple weeks. Oh, that's good to hear. So, like unicorns. Oh, because that's I know. I know. Unicorns also. I actually fought a few in Varrock because I'm trying to get my Herblord to 25. Do you fight the unicorns in Camelot, by the way, or Cedar's Village? Um, I actually forgot what I was gonna look at right now. Oh yeah, no. The drop table for the dragons. Let's see. Okay, so it's 1 in 100. Oh, 1 in 555. Okay, that's not bad. You're good, bro. Better to vent and get it off your chest, balling up, nothing worse than. Yeah, especially as a Taurus. That's I don't know if you guys are into astrology that much, but my sun sign is a Taurus. I'm kind of like the sign of the bull, so I guess it's probably not all surprising that you saw me there for over 20 30 minutes with that guy, but there's a time where even the bull sometimes, just have to say, sometimes there's just a better path. Best spawn and wieldy if you're after horns. Cancer. Yeah, I know there's like a spot with dark unicorns. I don't know how many people go there, but yeah, I know there's a spot there too. Yeah, by the way, if you're still watching B-Ball, or if you're not, or whatever, if you do want to get off of my ignore list, because I do try to give people second chances, if you, message anyone else in the chat and say, hey, like, I want to do better, I kind of want to, apologize to Jem, or I want to have a bit of you know, just a reform. You can always do that. I'm always open to it. Um, but yeah, just figured I'd put that out there. 'Cause I know people make mistakes, but yeah. Um, yeah, I actually made a few myself, Bjorn, because I'm trying to get the 25 Herblore for Heroes Quest. Because I do eventually want to get the Dragon Mace and Dragon Battle Axe for my Battle Mage. It is taking some time, but we'll get there. And that's why I'm also kind of keeping all the herbs as well for that. Again, I don't want people to, if I do have problems with other players, I don't want people to automatically, you know, how do I say it? Like I wouldn't want people to, um, necessarily, not in, no longer how do you call it? Like the person, just because I'm not getting along well with them. It's just one of those things where, I try to give people, the how do you say it? Well, of course I try to give them benefit of the doubt, but I try to also be understanding when I can as well, because I know, again, sometimes people make mistakes, and that's how it is. But yeah, I just think for now, I think I did the right thing with that guy. That's all I gotta say, and I'm glad you guys were able to see it that way as well. I mean, as long as you're not witch hunting and telling people to send DMs, yeah. I think it's all good. Nope. I think we're good now, thankfully enough. Let's see here. Let me know if you guys are fine with the audio, by the way. I know sometimes in my chat, some people sometimes like want the game audio to be louder and stuff, but if everything's fine, including the um, you know, my mic audio and all that, feel free to let me know. I think we can end the poll right now. Oh, by the way, guys, I also want to let you know I streamed Legends ZA earlier. I don't know if any of you guys are into Pokemon at all, but I had fun with that, and I'll probably be streaming more of it in the coming a couple months, at the very least. So if you guys, want to watch, when I'm not playing 2004Scape, you're more than welcome to. Let's see here. Gonna do another poll real quick. I think we're only 30,000 XP away from, or a little over 30,000 XP away from 74 magic. So we're getting there. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, quick guides. I read your comments. I think the thing is with blue dragons, or I guess however you want to look at it, but at least in the case with the blue dragons, I think if if you go there and no one is there, or you don't know anyone's there, um, by the time you get there and you have your spot and you're maging one of the blue dragons, and then the other guy comes in and he wants not only your spot but also the other spot as well, then the guy, you can just hop worlds at that point. I think, um, I mean, it's not like he has like a, what do you call it, a plaque, in that spot saying, this is my spot indefinitely, for as many hours as I go back and forth banking. I think it's more like, you know, you can at least have one spot available, and that's why I keep that other spot available. And if you want both spots, then you can just hop worlds. That's just it. You know, I think that's the fairest approach. At least that's the way I look at it. Um, so. But yeah, I think, thankfully we're done with that now. Thankfully we can just put it behind us, and if we do find another guy in the future that's like that, which I hope we don't, but if we do, then we'll try to handle it accordingly. So, I don't necessarily think we see eye to eye, but that's okay. Differing opinions and all is a bad thing. Yeah, no, that's fine. Again, that's just how I view it, and that's why I did a poll as well, like to see what other people thought, like with Bjorn and RPG as well, and Wes, and yeah, I really feel like it shouldn't be a big deal. But I guess to some people it is, you know, and just, but you know, we just move forward and we go from there. Let's see here. Getting attacked by the gnats. Give me a sec. There. You know, usually I see some people over here at the Greater Daemons, but I haven't seen anyone lately. I don't know why. Maybe they just don't know. Could be also just the world I'm in. Let's see. But yeah, let me know if you guys have been enjoying the stream. I know we got to a bit of a rocky start. But I hope it's been better now for you guys. At least whoever's still watching. Yeah. Let's see here. appreciate the yes on the poll. Let's see. I'll still use the thumbnail with Bjorn just because he's you're alright with that, Bjorn, because you really were the helpful MVP of the stream. No, no, it meant a lot. I think after I finish this particular trip, I'll probably go ahead and take a wee restroom break. Then I'll be back for a little bit more. Different opinions are good indeed, a good thing indeed, especially in relationships, because someone isn't speaking their mind and just saying yes and accepting everything as it comes, they'll never be happy. Shows the power of the mind when you can debate, argue with reason. Yeah, it's always true. It's well, that's why I do the polls as well, because I mean, I do enjoy talking about democracy at times, and I feel like one way to show democratic choice is for people being able to vote. And so that's why in the case with Ball, before I removed him from the channel or just kind of muted him or whatever, I did a poll just to see, if most of you guys were fine with that, and it turned out you guys were, and that's what I did. I just removed him from the chat. He he can still watch the stream whenever if he wants to, but just one of those things. I always advocate, or always try to advocate, the freedom of choice because, democracy, I connect a lot, like, well, I do a lot of reading on not only DNA, but also different cultures. And, Greece and Troy was one of the first places where democracy was originated from. I know Bjorn from Norway, he talks a lot about, he believes democracy originated in Scandinavia. Maybe, maybe there was a form of it that was present somehow, maybe even during the time of, ancient Greece and Troy, but there was a reason why democracy not only originated in, or not only had a presence in Northern Europe, but also in Southern Europe, and then you kind of have the balance in Central Europe. And so I'm very touchy when it comes to politics and religion. I avoid them both almost immediately with a 10-foot barge pole. Yeah, yeah. Um, I just try to do I just try to share a balance because like for me, for example, it's like I talk to my uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman, and he'll talk about, well, what about Thor? Because see, like my dad's ancestry, they have kind of a mixture of Japanese, native Japanese American. And then there's also like some Scandinavian and some Celtic as well. But I know my Uncle Herman, he'll talk a lot about Thor, and then I just tell him, well, Thor can walk with Ares, or just like, also Odin can walk with Zeus. And it doesn't just have to be Odin, doesn't just have to be Zeus, it just doesn't have to be Thor or only Ares. There's a reason why there's more than one, you know? And the same thing with the Morrigan and Dagda and Cernunnos and things like that as well. Um, and I think people should always be given an option because that's really what it's all about. But it's always important to lead by example as well. You can only say so much, and then you just have to put the actions behind your words, and try your best to lead by example, because no one's perfect, but you try your best, and that's just what you do. Yeah, I don't really talk about that part as much, RPG. I stick more to folklore mainly. 'Cause I feel like well, not saying it's relatable to everyone, but I feel like with my Uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman, that's something I can talk to him about, that or DNA, because I feel like that's something that I can kind of, kind of, what do you call it? Bring down to earth, as it were. Um, yeah, and see, the thing is, like, with my Uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman, see, I come from a very, I come from many different bloodlines that have come together. And actually, I think that's a good thing because, thankfully I'm not inbred. But what it is that I just try to tell him there's a reason why, along with Odin, you have Zeus, or along with Thor, you have Ares. Because if you only have Odin and Thor, I mean, you can have that if you want, but there's a reason why there's more than just Odin and Thor. It's not like they're the only gods, um, or the only ancestors on the earth. There's a reason why there's also Ares and Zeus and Cernunnos and Apollo and all these other ancestors, and that's how I kind of view the gods and goddesses. I kind of view them as our ancestors. Um, and I feel like that's also another easy way to kind of explain it. So, and and I know, like, for my dad, you know, well, I don't know if my dad talks about it as much, but see, my dad, his name is Siggy, and then his father's name was Siggy, and then I've read that Siggy, that origin word comes from, he was the son of Odin. But you see, I think I probably got some of the Greek ancestry also from my mom's side as well. We're going back to like the Age of Heroes from Troy and Greece, along with more Celtic ancestry as well. And so I just try to balance him. Just, if we're going to talk about Thor, we can talk about Ares. If you want to talk about Odin, we can talk about Zeus. And then even it's interesting because I learned, the word for God in English as, connection with like Godin, which is like the Lombardic word for Odin. And in Spanish, Dios or Deus is connected to Zeus. And so you kind of have that intersection there. And so I think it's one of those things where, um, you know, I think especially, for people who are really into like Greek folklore or even, the Romans and all that. I feel like you wouldn't really have a republic, or wouldn't, or Rome wouldn't even really be what Rome became without what came before, and what came before a republic was a democracy. So, but I think even Bjorn agrees with that as well from Norway. Not Bjorn, you know, um, my 2004Scape friend and viewer, but Bjorn, he's a Norse heathen, and he does agree when people talk about a republic. He says, well, there's a reason why you also have a democracy. But yeah, I just think it's just one of those things where sometimes just I think a balance can help people, you know. So, but yeah, let me see here. I'm probably gonna mage just a few more blue dragons before I take my restroom break because I gotta go. It's But no, my uncle Cherokee Japanese Hermit, he's pretty mellow for the most part. He always calls me Celtic Healer, and he was right because I didn't really fully understand the full scope of my ancestry until I looked it up, and I had a lot of ancestry from the Iron Age France. Well, before it was called France by the Franks. Um, it was it used to be called Gaul. And the Celts I was connected to were the Gallo-Celtic Sequani, which was a tribe that lived in modern day France, and then the Aedui as well. And then they also lived in Spain and Portugal as well, because they spread out. They weren't just in one region the whole time. And so those Celts I was related to, because really the ethnic Celts, I learned that the what people think of as Celts in Britain and Ireland, which I have ancestry connected to Celts there as well. But really, I guess even before the Celts arrived to Britain and Ireland, there were people already, well, of course there were people already there, but the people who were already there were related not only to Cheddarman, Cheddarman, by the way, would have been one of the original inhabitants of Britain going back 10,000 years ago. He would have had dark skin but blue eyes. But there were other people who came as well, like Anatolian Neolithic farmers and the people called the Bellbeaker people, which came shortly after the Yamnaya. They were steppe people, and those people were genetically closely related mainly to Scandinavians like Norwegians and Danish and Swedish and all that. And I do know that because, well, it's also part of my ancestry. I think I had like some ancestry from like Bellbeaker, Germany, 4,500 years ago, and those were the people they match closest with. But it seems like the ethnic Celts, though, or the Celts that most people view as like the Hallstatt or Latini Celts, it seems they were genetically closer to like Spanish and Portuguese and North Italian, French, and South Dutch. And I think part of it was because you know that there's always kind of a back and forth. You know, what was the original origin of the Celts, and at least for my Celtic lineage, it seems like they were related to the Irians or the Aurelians, and those were pretty much warriors that go back to like Mycenaean Greece, the Age of Heroes. If you think about the Iliad, you know, with Hector of Troy and Achilles, it kind of goes back to a bit of that shared lineage, and it kind of makes sense if you really well delve deep into Proto-Celtic, because ooh, 60 HP. Because Proto-Celtic really sounds very similar to, well, Latin, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian. It's more so it's probably sounds closer to Latin than Germanic for sure. Of course, but even though there was, mixing between Celtic and Germanic tribes, even back then, um, like the Thuringi and Batavi and other groups, and Visigoth. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I think people sometimes they get tunnel visioned and they might think, oh, this, things are only this one way, or the Celts are this only one way, or even the Norse or Greeks or Trojans, but it's actually more open-ended than people think. It's just one of those things. Um, Hello, Ben. Glad you could join the stream. Uh, I was just finished sharing some ancestry, and just ancestral research I do, and no, I was kind of laughing because I was reading a um, Reddit post of there was a guy I think he was from Ireland, and he said, "Wait a minute, like why? Where's my Celtic ancestry? This can't be right." Because he had like a whole bunch of Viking ancestry and Saxon and all that. And then the people in Reddit were like, "Well, it looks like most of your ancestors were Germanic people or Norsemen." Again, nothing wrong with that, but it's just kind of funny how that turned out. I told my uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman what happened when the Vikings, what I read when the Vikings invaded Ireland in the medieval ages, is the Vikings would come and they would try to, raid the, Ireland, of course. And then some of the Norsemen would settle down, have children with the Irish, who were also part Celtic. They'd have children, and then the children that were part Norse and part Celtic would kind of fight off the Norse that kept coming in. So that's kind of funny how that works. I mean, I don't want, the Norse, to get to suffer casualties, but it's just like one of those things where, the ice kind of had to melt, and yeah, the Norse, you learn to get along, learn to eventually get along with the Celt, and the Celt eventually learn to get along with the Norse. So it's kind of silly. But no, like, but if you do go back even before the Norse and all that, there was still ancestry related to even I guess Scandinavians back then too, because at least with the Bellbeaker match that I got from Germany, it seemed that they were clearly still related to like Norwegians, not necessarily like West German or East German or German Central and all that, but at least Norwegian, Swedish, North Dutch, and Danish, they always had kind of an ancestral connection, which became diversified over time, thankfully enough. So, but no, like there are sample matches in Ireland and Britain during the medieval ages, like Celtic matches that do also match more closely to like Spanish and Basque people. A Basque would be like in northeast Spain, southern France, um, and of course French as well. Because I used to have people, when I would do videos on Celtic ancestry, they used to say, Spanish people weren't related to Celts at all, and then I showed them the DNA, and they're like, wait a minute. And I just think sometimes people just don't know, people they uh they don't have the full scope, and you just have to share it with them. Oh. Well, I also try to tie in, the connection with Greece and Troy as well, because I also feel like that's also equally another important part of Celtic ancestry. Because if you look at a lot of the words, or some of the words in like Proto-Celtic and Mycenaean Greek and Trojan, it matches. Like their word for four in Mycenaean Greek, Trojan, Proto-Celtic would be cuatros. It's like cuatro in Spanish, and then the word for 10 would be deca, and then that'd be diez in Spanish, and you can kind of see how it's very similar. It's kind of like, I guess like how the words in Germanic are similar, like Rheinbu in And of course you have Reagan, Bogan, and German. I prefer Reinbu just because I feel like it has a bit more magic to it, but I know some people also like the other pronunciation too. Can you message Pasca to sell PK Rune or 9K each? Uh, I don't see Pasca on right now. I do see PK, but I don't see him. No. But yeah, there's my free ancestral lecture, or not lecture, but just kind of Sharon, just for you guys are interested. Yeah, I think I'll take the restroom break after this particular Blue Dragon trip. I actually had a friend named Ben. He was one of my best friends, going to school. He was Welsh American. I know he always would say he wasn't Welsh, but because he said I was born in the U.S. and stuff, but his mom, I think she moved from Wales, when during her lifetime, to the U.S. and I would tell Ben, well, it's still part of your ancestry, and he would always talk a lot about Rome, um, and he would always try to help me see more of the positive side to Rome and all that. The only thing I would tell him now is just know that you wouldn't have a republic without a democracy. Going back to Greece, because democracy really originated in Greece and Troy. But no, he was one of my best friends, and um, I would try to balance his perspective because my uncle Herman, Uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman, he always would connect a lot with the Cherusci, which is a tribe in northwest Germany, and I read the story about the three Roman legions that tried to conquer Germania during that time, around 2,000 years ago. And I know my friend Ben made the comment about it was a pity that, you know, the Romans lost three legions, and I said, well, maybe it wasn't such a good idea to invade that area, you know, because back then, the Germanic tribes like the Cherusci, it was kind of hard times back then. So, and then I learned the Cherusci go back to like found like a match from like Greece from like 3,800 years ago, and the Cherusci were there. So somehow, before they got to Germany, I guess maybe some of their ancestors even were also in Greece as well. So that was kind of cool to learn about. But yeah, no, he was a great friend. I got along well with him, and sometimes we would have differing opinions. Like I think it was Quick Guide. Quick Guide mentioned that. Yeah, Ben and I would have differing opinions, but it was good though. Like he and I just really gelled really well for the most part, and I really enjoyed his company. And when he would invite me to his home, he was always very accommodating, always very kind, and yeah, we had a good friendship for sure. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, honestly, my friend Ben, when I would talk to him, he sometimes would remind me a bit of my mom or my mom's side of the family. Um, he he actually, yeah, he actually looked a lot like the current Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez. My friend Ben looked quite a bit similar to him, but because I know Wales in particular also had a history with Spain and the Romans and all that, and thankfully, you know, they got a bit balanced too. We can all learn something, but but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna take a wee restroom break, and I'll be back. Alright, guys, I'm back. Was well-needed restroom break for sure. Also got some more warm water and a bit of tea. I enjoy drinking black tea. Um, it's one of the ones that I like. I also like green tea as well. Let me know what tea you guys like, just so interesting to see. I've gotten quite a few Dragon Bones and Blue Hide this trip so far, or this stream. Let's get a few more irons. Let's see. We only have, I think, 20,000 XP until 74 magic, so we might even be able to get 74 magic this stream. We'll have to see though. Is the audio good for you guys, by the way? I know I mentioned this before. I know sometimes some of you guys have mentioned the game audio being a little bit lower than what you guys might like, but if it is good, let me know. Um, Oh no no! It can happen. See if I can use my rapid heal. Gotta be careful. Just want to mainly get out of the range of getting hit by another 20. Okay, I think there we go. Ah. Any clue luck today, bro? Still here. Sorry, mostly lurking. Uh, no, not today. I did get some luck earlier though. I got a what was it? I think it's like a beige cavalier, and I got a Ceradim and plate legs and one clue, and that was crazy. And I think I traded the cavalier for like a Ceradim and full helm, and then I ended up selling both the Ceradim and full helm and plate legs for a fair amount of gold. Chaos runes. The guy, it was like I think the guy was like a level 50. He was like a new player, and he just really wanted those two sets of armor, and got a bunch of good stuff, and yeah. And then I was able to purchase a Gothic's full helm too, because I've been trying to work on my battle mage. Oh, RPG. You might not be interested in this, or you might be. I only say this because I remember one of your streams you were looking at Gengar packs. Not Gengar packs, Gengar, well, I guess packs if you count backpacks. Yeah. But I recently sold my first. Well, I've sold single trading cards over $250 before, but this was the first time I did it with the new authentication program they rolled out on eBay. I guess they're doing it just to kind of it's just kind of a service they offer for single cards that are worth a certain value, just to kind of, I guess, give buyers more peace of mind. Um, but anyways, I mean, I've been selling on eBay for years, but yeah. So it was the first time I sent my card in through that way. It was like a Gengar full art Phantom Forces card. And it took over a week to authenticate, but they finally got it done. And now it's being sent to the customer, and it's always a nice thing to be able to see that. I can post a link of it here for you guys who are interested. Um, Thankfully, it's only single cards though. Like, not to say that the authentication program is bad, but it is nice that while they do offer it, they kind of still give the sellers, enough kind of benefit of the doubt, you know, especially people who've been selling for years. So, but yeah, I figured, you know, wasn't a hasn't been bad so far. That's really cool hobby to have as business. Always love Pokemon cards. Yeah, thankfully I've been able to have that work. I work from home, and thankfully I've been able to do that for the past over 5 years now. Actually, it's been a while that I've been able to do it. I've been smart with my finances, thankfully enough. I know some people would go crazy, you know, kind of doing it for that long, but because I know some people like, they need social stimulation, um, aside uh, other than streaming and stuff like that. But yeah, for me, it's worked just fine. Um, and yeah, it's definitely been a good thing. Yeah, I dropped off some an order today actually, and I talked to my neighbors for a wee bit, and I had one of my neighbors. His name is Clay. He there was one time where my toilet was backed up, and he let me use what's called a drain auger, which is kind of an alternative to a plumber. You can, or plunger rather. Yeah, plunger, not a plumber. Well, I guess it is, technically. Well, you know, if you yourself want to be the plumber, um, but yeah, no, he let me borrow it, and I was able to. Well, yeah, he actually even he offered to help me because it was my first time using it, and he offered uh, to help me kind of get the clog out together. And I actually gave him some black tea because I figured I'd give him a gift, before he went on his way. And I asked him today if he enjoyed it, and he said yeah. I guess he drank all of it already, so it's nice that he could enjoy it. Yeah, you know what? Maybe for the thumbnail, I'll still keep the Bjorn MVP in the title chat because I still think it's I still really appreciate what Bjorn did for me earlier. But I think for the thumbnail, just to kind of because I really don't want uh, to attract too much drama. I'll probably just maybe just use the trade, either the trade with Morgan and I earlier, or if I do get 74 magic this stream, then I'll use that instead. The thumbnail with 74 magic, I might just do that. Yeah, because we're not actually too far away from 74 magic, so I think maybe I might just continue streaming until we get there. Let's see. Maybe it was no, I don't think it was Lumbia. I think it was someone else. Maybe. I'll ask him. Oh, he logged out. It's funny. No, I don't have that. I have two. I have Gothic's two pieces. Of the quite chill so far. Yeah, having trout in the bank is really nice. No. Oh wait, I think I was the one who traded Lumbee actually. Uh, I traded the Gothic Wilhelm with you. Want to buy some bowstring? Not right now. But there might be some people in the chat that might be interested. The room plate legs. Yeah, I also traded him some room plate legs as well instead of gold. So- Oh wow, someone really bought out all the air runes. I don't have Guthix plate legs, forgot how I got rune. Traded. Think you upped it. Oh, that must be someone else. Maybe that was someone else. By the way, guys, I don't know how many of you guys grow your hair out long. I've been doing it for 2 years now, and it was actually my mom who inspired me. My mom and some of my other friends and contacts, and I feel like after over 2 years now, I feel like my hair is finally starting to lay down a little bit more because I know for a while I wasn't really sure how my hair progression was going, but seems like it's been going pretty well. It's my first time that I really have decided to grow out my hair, and it's been a good thing because I always used to cut it and cut it and cut it and cut it, and I think I felt like I used to grow out my beard a little bit more than my hair, but I'm glad I'm finally kind of doing both because I feel like it brings a balance. Of course, there's nothing wrong with having a beard and short hair, or even if you're bald and have a beard. But I just feel like having the longer hair just really balances the beard because I felt like when I had short hair and a beard, and I kind of have like I wouldn't say like I have like a 5 foot long beard, but I still have like a decent beard. I just felt it was a little bit too overpowering, and but now like with the longer hair, I just feel like they just somehow they balance each other. So, but that's my own personal kind of perspective. I know there are some people who look very good with really big beards and no hair, and then vice versa, you have people with long hair and no and they don't have a beard at all. But I feel like both together really mesh well, at least for me. Both the beard and the long hair. And it's actually kind of cool because you know, I would I talk a lot to my uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman, and I know like for a lot of the Native Americans, including Native Japanese Americans, however you want to say it, growing long hair was a big part of their culture. I know also for the Japanese too in Japan. For some of the Japanese, that's a big thing. I think even in China, Korea, um, maybe even with some of the Tungzik people in Northeast Asia. Um, and it actually really does parallel kind of nicely with how the Celts used to grow their hair long, how the Greeks and Spartans would grow their hair long. Actually, the Persians tried to make fun of. It was said that Xerxes, one of the Persian kings, he tried to make fun of Spartan king Leonidas and his soldiers. When they had long hair with their beards. I guess Xerxes thought that was some kind of you know what are these men doing with long hair? And but then he found out the Spartans were some pretty badass warriors with long hair and and beards, and that's pretty cool. Well, maybe not so cool for him, but and then I think it was only really, and the Romans even used to grow their hair long as well too. I think it was only until Alexander the Great started kind of rolling out, because I think he started ordering his soldiers to shave their beards and hair because his excuse was, well, the Persians can grab your beard and grab your hair. And it would have been interesting to see what the Norsemen would have said at that time, if Alexander told them, you Norsemen also need to cut your hair just like the Spartans and the Macedonians, because if you don't, then they can also grab your beard and hair. So, but yeah, no, I think that ultimately it just kind of it's a nice parallel, to be able to do that because um, and I know like as my uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman says, he says, there are some natives, who grow their hair long. There are some that don't. Um, but I think for me, just kind of, leading by example, being able to um, see like how all those different lineages come together and how, they intersect has been a good thing for me and also for him as well. Um, and I think that's why I love the anime. For anyone who watches anime, there's an anime I watch called Bleach, and no, it's not the detergent. It's an actual anime, and the latest season has to do with Ichigo fighting against a guy named Yuhabak, who's part of what's called the Wandenreich. And Ichigo is kind of like the antithesis of Yuhabak, because Yuhabak, he just wants just one pure race, that never dies and things like that. And Ichigo is the exact opposite, where he has all these different races that have come together to make who he is, which is actually really cool. Um, and Ichigo kind of has like since the beginning of the anime, he's kind of had a so-called mentor, an obstacle, kind of both. He's kind of like the Odin of Bleach, and even Odin or Zangetsu, or, well, his name is Zangetsu in the one-eyed Zangetsu in the anime, but to me he's pretty much Odin. And he would say at first, I wanted to protect you, and I didn't want you to get hurt when you were following the path of a Shinigami, which is like a death god in Japanese folklore. But then I saw, how your path, started making my own heart waver, and then I realized that maybe it's not such a bad thing that you've been able to incorporate all these different ancestries together. And then Odin or Zangetsu kind of leaves, saying, I am satisfied. And that was a really cool part of the show for him to do that. Um, and that's why I always tell my uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman, you can have Odin, but you can also have Odin walking with Zeus, or you can have Thor, but also Thor walking with Ares. And that's pretty much what Ichigo kind of showed Zangetsu, is that, hey, like Zangetsu, you are still part of me, but so are all these other people. And then that was kind of the healing lesson there. And to me, I kind of view like Odin and Zeus kind of like brothers, if you go far back enough. And I know RPG, like I mentioned that to him earlier in one of his streams, and he talked a bit about the versus battles, and honestly, I'd love to see a collaboration where instead of it being just Odin versus Zeus all the time, I'd rather see Odin works together with Zeus and Zeus works together with Odin. Like imagine like you have Yuhabak, saying, I want to be this single god and everyone's going to be, under my reign, and then Odin and Zeus say, no, we're not going to allow that to happen because there's a reason why there's two of us and one of you. And so that's kind of why I think because even Bjorn of Norway, he does mention, when you talk about God, which God are you speaking about? And so that's why, like, I think about Zeus and Odin, kind of being, prominent, kind of almost like, deity ancestors of different folklores, and it's kind of like, that's why I always kind of find it fascinating. So, but I know not everyone's a pagan. I know not everyone's a heathen. I know Bjorn, not Bjorn in the chat, but or well, maybe Bjorn in the chat as well. But Bjorn of Norway, he says that I guess in Scandinavia, aside from using the word pagan, which I think correlates more so of Celtic or maybe Hellenistic ways of looking at things, sometimes they'll also call themselves heathens, which kind of has its own connotation. And yeah, and as RPG said, sometimes we'll have differing opinions, and Bjorn and I are definitely like that in some ways. When I chat with him on his channel, but in other ways we do parallel, or we do see some things in a similar way. And I think that's what my uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman would always highlight is the intersection. Where's the intersection? How do we intersect? Um, and also in addition to, that's also one of his favorite words. And yeah, and I figure I'd share that as well because I know with your RPG, you've mentioned about having a connection to Norwegian ancestry and things like that, and also Bjorn, I don't know if you're really into Scandinavian folklore that much, but it's been good to learn. It's been nice. It's been interesting to learn because I mean it is part of my dad's name and his dad's name, and I learned I did have cousins in Scandinavia, and I don't know, maybe even uh, RPG and you Bjorn, not Bjorn in Norway. Well, maybe even he's extended family too, if you go far back enough. But Yeah, it's pretty cool. And that's what I always would try to tell my uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman that, even if you're not like 100% um, Cherokee or 50% Cherokee or even 25% Cherokee, if you still got a bit of Cherokee in you, it's still part of you. It's like, I guess it's like being part Celtic or part Norse or part Asian or Egyptian or whatever. And I think that ancestry is not just only by, what percentage or having to have a, specific percentage of ancestry, but just, even just being able to connect with it is important is a good thing as well. And I think that's what Bjorn of Norway tried to mention as well, that, if you have any connection to Scandinavian landscape, Scandinavian folklore, or the Norse tradition, if you have a bit of that in you, then you might feel a calling to that part of you. And I think the Norse are a prime example of that because I think they mixed with a lot of different people, and I think even Bjorn in Norway mentioned that. The same thing is true for the Greeks and the Celts and Trojans and all that as well, but uh, Romans, but just kind of like that other outlet is also good to see as well. Yeah, I think I had some DNA that I found out that I had like a bit of like even like Viking Norwegian, Viking Danish, even like a wee bits from Britain, I think. It wasn't like it's not like a huge part of my ancestry, but it is, part of it. So, but anyways, yeah, I think that like Bjorn of Norway mentioned, he said, you know, ancestry can be a touchy subject for some people, but it really shouldn't be. And honestly, I agree with him. Um, I know in particular, ancestry can be really tough sometimes for Native Americans or even sometimes even for certain Asians, like even Japanese or Chinese or Koreans. Oh, there's a clue scroll, but I think it is good to at least learn about. Um, let's see here. Okay, maybe how close are we to 74 magic? Okay, so I'm gonna do a poll. For those of you who are still here, I want to see if you guys would prefer me to get 74 magic and then do the clue scroll next stream, or if you guys want me to do the clue scroll and then save 74 magic for next stream. So I'll just write down. I want to see what you guys have to say. Clue scroll. Alright, we got one person on clue scroll. Let's see who else. Yeah, I was honestly surprised we got another one that quick. I mean, I guess it's not like that quick, but yeah. Hold on here. Okay, 45, 43. Oh no. Well, I guess it's not crazy. We have to go to level 35 wilderness. I've done that spot before. Uh, Maybe we'll do the clue scroll as a thumbnail. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Hold on. Let's see. Oh yeah, I need also the spade and some other stuff. Don't want to forget that now. Let's see here. Hopefully we don't have any stream snipers. We'll see though. Got some ghosts here. I gotta be careful with the spiders here. Yeah, these spiders can hurt. Poison. Remember, it's like somewhere here. Guys get to see the battle mage in action. Not just magic, but also melee. The token of the strongest love, my middle is empty. I have no beginning around my eyes red, and it can fit like a glove. All to the place where money they lend and dig by the gate. To my friend. Is that in Varrock, I think? Let's see. I think that's Varrock. Yeah, I was right, yeah, Varrock. Hey, if you ever wanted 99 prayer with 15 combat, I think that would be one good place to do it. Might take you forever, but oh, there's black unicorns here. Oh. Oh no, he teleported. Or maybe logged. Another one of these. Okay. Is it the same location or is it a different one? So this is Graveyard of Shadows. Oh, okay. It's not too bad. Trout's coming in handy. Okay. Might as well get our prayer points back. I think the Graveyard of Shadows is a wee bit more west, so we'll go there. It's there. Whenever I hear this song, I always feel like it's very, um, not bombastic, but I'm trying to think of another word. I think the Graveyard of Shadows is further east from here. Further west, yeah. You guys are hearing the full range of music here. If it's loud enough for you guys. Oops, my bad. Okay, we're hopefully I'm not going too far. Wait, isn't it? What level? Oh shoot, I think I went too far. I think I went too far. Yeah, I was like, I don't remember. I was like, I don't remember seeing that. It's further south. Is it west? Or east? No, maybe. Oh, maybe it's even further west. Hey, Ghoul. Glad to see you in the stream. He actually came at a time where things are kind of mellowing out a little bit, aside from me trying to figure out how to get back to the Graveyard of Shadows, even though I've been there quite a few times. Okay, so... Well, this is as far west as I can go. So... Must be that... Might just be further east. Let's see. Okay, I have to remember how far east do I have to go then? Steel dagger. Okay, I think I have to dig by the tree. Let's go! Got some blood runes. Oh, I got 12. I don't think that's the end of the clue. Maybe it is. I'll have to see. No, it's not. Oh wait, is that the same location? Wow, it's the exact same location. Okay, that's happened to me before actually, where I get the same coordinate clue. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Oh, let's move the man a little bit. It doesn't look like I'm attacking the cat. Yeah, the 12 blood rune drop was pretty good though. Alright, we got a reward. No uniques, but we did get a fair amount of nature runes, black d'hide, body, rune kite, and rune pickaxe. So, something. If any of you guys want any of this, let me know. There. Still got some rune plate bodies from before I still have. But I got the from a drop party. At Safari. Is he on? He was looking for a rune plate body, or he was, or maybe he still is. Let's see. Oh, hopefully gold procedure to get your molar pulled out wasn't too bad. I remember getting my wisdom teeth pulled out years ago, and that was quite the process, but they were able to do it, thankfully enough. Amazing how much evidence people have been buying. Byron's not so much, interestingly enough. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream for now. Hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys had a good time watching, and I'll be off for now. Take care.